Hello, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. This is my little Mother's Day special here for Star Wars Miniatures. Forgive my voice. Allergies are killing me, and I can't seem to get rid of this cough from a sickness a while ago. Um, for Mother's Day, I wanted to celebrate Star Wars' most famous mother, Padme Amidala. My mom is a Star Wars fan. But ironically, to the theme of today's episode, she does not like the prequels. She considers Revenge of the Sith very depressing because Anakin kills Padme, and does not enjoy that. My mom is actually a sequel liker over the prequels, despite the fact that she likes the original trilogy and the sequels. She finds the prequels too depressing. She thinks the romance there is very sad. My mom is a Raylo fan. My mom is a Raylo fan, and she enjoys the tragic romance of Kylo and Rey, and she does not like the tragic romance of where Anakin kills Padme. Um, but so it is ironic that I'm doing Padme for Mother's Day, considering that my mom finds that those movies too sad to watch. But Padme is the mother of the franchise in a sense, right? You don't have Star Wars without Padme, right? So I thought it would be fun to cover her today, even though Mike has already done a good Padme comparison. It's Mother's Day, so I wanted to talk Padme. So let's go. Um, my disdain for the commander effect of Clone Strike Padme is well documented, but otherwise, she's not a terrible piece. Um, she's not a good piece now, but for Clone Strike, she wasn't a terrible piece, I think. Her commander effect is very silly. You can watch my What Was Wizards Thinking video to read my rant on that. But for Clone Strike, 60 points, double attack, sorry, 15 points for 60 hit points, defense 17, attack 9, 10 damage, double attack was not bad, I think, for that era. Um, it wasn't great, but back in a time of the game when uniques were defined more by having good stats than having lots of powers, having 60 hit points for 15 was quite impressive, and having 17 defense was still quite impressive. Um, so basically, she was just there to pick off, low point characters, and she was quite good at that. So I think for Clone Strike, um, she wasn't terrible. I think now you would never use her, obviously, but I've always liked the sculpt. Honestly, the pose is cool. I thought they did a really good job with this sculpt. I like all the Padme sculpts actually. They're all really good sculpts. I wish they'd done more than three Padmes. I mean, she deserved more. I think three is for a character who appears in three movies to only get three sculpts is kind of lame. Wizards. I think there's not a lot of female characters in this game that have more than three. There might not be any female characters that have more than three iterations. So I wish they'd done more Padmes. Let's talk about Queen Amidala, who is phenomenal from Champions. Again, another great sculpt. I mean, just look at this sculpt. Like, they've got her in her Phantom outfit. It's terrific. It's ironic that she got less health in her Clone Strike iteration than her Phantom Menace iteration. She goes down to health, and she lost the ability to mobile attack somehow. She got worse when she stopped being a teenager. Um, this is an incredible piece. I think everybody knows it. Non-unique Republic followers gain mobile attack, and the rapport for non-unique Republic followers just terrific if you're doing a trooper-based army. Um, Obviously Rex supersedes, but she's a very cheap option and both point cost and on eBay. Um, and plus, it applies to all non-unique Republic followers. So if you are playing like Wookiees or something, then she's a really good option. Although Wookiees are mostly melee attacking, but still, I think a good choice. And the rapport is just great, like for non-unique Republic followers. Um, she was an absolute like must-have piece, I think, back in Champions era. If you were playing Troopers, an absolute must-have. Um, she's still very good today. Again, Rex obviously better, but for 16 points, giving everybody mobile attack who's a non-unique Republic follower is terrific. And the fact that she can double uh, or mobile herself is really good. Um, we'll see in the next one that unfortunately she can't double and mobile, but I've always found it weird for pieces to have double and mobile because I wish you could do them together. But it's still nice to have the either or option. And greater mobile wasn't a thing at this time anyway. But I think she's a great piece. She can pick off low cost opponents, and uh, then she's just got like a rangeless great boost. I mean, it's very useful if you're running a trooper army and you don't have Rex. Queen Amidala is a must. I mean, she's just a must, unequivocally. Finally, Padme Senator, the only one that I don't have. Also very good. Is she better than Queen Amidala? That is a tricky question. I'm going to say no. Her commander effect is really nice. One unique follower can make an immediate attack at +4 bonus. It's within 6 squares, but obviously we're living in a Moss world, so it's rangeless if you're bringing Moss. She's the best fighter of any of the Padmes. She's the one mid Clone Wars here, so that makes most sense. Uh, excuse me. You can't see off camera, but Wes just batted over Clone Strike Padme because he doesn't like her either. Um, uh, she's the best fighter. She can mobile twin. That's nice. Um, her CE is kind of he's batting over Padme again. Yeah, no, I know that commander effect is terrible. Um, I'm gonna put her over here so he stops doing that. I just I don't think she's better simply because the +4 attack is not tremendously useful. It's very useful, but the mobile attack I think is more useful and it applies to a lot of people. You can get a lot of value here if you need to boost a unique follower. Um, 23 points is a little expensive for that. I think, especially just because like the mobile twin for 10 is good, but like you're not going to be using her just for fighting. Blue Milk really likes her, and she is good, but I don't think she's better for Queen Amidala simply because of the point cost. And if you compare her to Princess Leia, who she's obviously modeled after, the really nice part of Princess Leia from Alliance and Empire is the +10 damage. I know the argument that Padme is not limited to her faction, so you can boost some Fringers attacks by +4, but like, it's just not as good to boost one person's +4 attack. I think is to give all your non-unique followers mobile. Um, and it really just comes down to a matter of point cost. I think if she was a little cheaper, she would be much better. For 23, that's a reasonable cost, but it's not like so cheap like Queen Amidala is that you're like, whoa. I was talking to Mike about this, where there's like pieces that are like good versus like must-haves. You know, like when you're constructing a squad, you feel like you're like, oh my God, commanders mostly. You're like, oh, I must have this piece. And it's like hard to not use them. Pieces like when you're playing rebels, like Riken or Dodona, like all the time. You're just like, "Ah, can I afford Riken? I'm gonna put Riken in. Can I afford Dodona? Probably want to put Dodona in. And Amidala, Queen Amidala from Champions is like for 16 points. Like she's just like if you can afford to do her in a squad that works, you want to put her in uh, pretty much all the time if you're doing a follower based squad, non unique squad. Versus Padme Senator, like I would bring her again. I don't have her, so I haven't played her the way that I've been playing Padme, Queen Amidala for years and loving her. But I just think that Queen is better. I just think she is. And the rapport makes a big difference too. Like this piece is 16 and she makes it really cheaper. Um, yeah, it's not to say that Padme Senator is a bad piece, but I think Queen is the best. And I am not. I don't mean this is obviously not a controversial opinion. I think Blue Milk certainly agrees with me. I think everybody would agree with me on this, but well, not everybody. I mean, there's some debate, but you know, I come back to the fact that I wish they'd made more Amidalas. Like, I just wish there was more Amidalas. There was a whole other clone set. We did two clone sets. We did three Clone War sets, really, when you think about it. And she only appeared in two of them. Would have been fun to get one more Padme. I don't know. Why not? Um, but yeah, that's my full thoughts on the Padmes. Happy Mother's Day. Do something nice for your mom. You know. And let's all celebrate the mother of the franchise in a sense, Queen Amidala, who gave birth to Luke and Leia and gave us episode 4 and gave us a movie. Even if she was unnamed, she's there in the background of the original trilogy, just like kind of haunting it, right, in death, in a really interesting way, especially in Return of the Jedi when they talk about her um, on Endor. Um, yeah, it's a really interesting scene to watch. Having seen the prequels, when I watched Return of the Jedi recently, I was thinking about that. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, may the Force be with you.